Be honest, how many times have you caught yourself opening your phone just to check something quickly, only to realize an hour later that you've once again drowned in the endless feed? And in that moment, there's a strange feeling. You were busy, you were doing something, and yet nothing. This isn't about weak willpower or laziness. It's about how the modern world is structured and how our brains work. We live in an era where attention has become a valuable currency, and every swipe is a tiny dopamine hit. Algorithms and app designs are created to keep us here and now, consuming our lives minute by minute. And we respond to these stimuli almost instinctively, like ancient hunters who couldn't ignore movement in the grass, unsure whether it was danger or prey. But if we look deeper, scrolling is a mirror of our internal state. We scroll not because the feed is inherently interesting, but because there's a void inside us that we're afraid to face. We run from boredom, anxiety, loneliness. We seek small bursts of pleasure because we've long forgotten how to find joy in the present moment, in ourselves. And here lies the first key. If we want to stop scrolling, we need not just to close apps, but to reconfigure ourselves from the inside, to change our relationship with our attention and with our time. The first thing to understand is that our desire to scroll is a signal. The brain is seeking pleasure, release, a sense of meaning. If we learn to get this satisfaction in other ways, scrolling gradually loses its hold over us. Try this. Each time you reach for your phone, pause and ask yourself, what am I really looking for? What am I missing? Sometimes the answer is simply you want a distraction from boredom or anxiety. Sometimes it's deeper, you crave meaning, significance, real life. The second point is limiting chaos. Scrolling lives in infinity. The more endless content there is, the harder it is for the brain to stop. That's why time container techniques work, not as strict prohibitions, but as agreements with yourself. For example, set to windows in the day when you allow yourself to access social media. Outside those windows, focus on the present, conversation, a walk, creative work, reading. Restrictions are not deprivation, they're a tool of inner freedom. We create boundaries to free up space for real life. The third level is awareness of triggers. Scrolling is almost always triggered by an emotion, boredom, anxiety, fatigue. Identify your triggers and devise alternatives. If you're bored, take a 5-minute walk. If anxious, practice mindful breathing. If lonely, call a friend. A small act of conscious choice, instead of automatic reaction, breaks the habit. The fourth is meaning instead of habit. When we scroll, we try to fill the inner void. But at a deeper level, this doesn't work. True satisfaction comes from creating, writing, journaling, drawing, learning something new. Every time you choose an action aligned with your values, the brain receives a deeper and longer-lasting pleasure, and the urge to scroll gradually weakens. The fifth is digital fasting. Try 1 day a week without social media. At first, it will feel strange, anxiety, and the urge to check will appear. But then clarity comes, the world becomes richer, details sharper, inner space freer. This is practice in cultivating inner freedom. The sixth is attention as the currency of life. Scrolling erodes it. To regain control, train your ability to be fully present in what is happening here and now. Reading a book without distractions, a short meditation, a mindful walk without a phone. This is like a gym for your brain. The stronger your attention, the easier it is to resist the scrolling habit. The seventh is the philosophy of limits. We often think freedom is having everything. In reality, true freedom is the ability to choose. Scrolling illustrates the opposite. Endless access to information clouds our choices. When you set boundaries for yourself and your actions, you strengthen inner power. Freedom is conscious choice, not chaos. The eighth is shifting the source of pleasure inward. Joy can be derived not from the external stream of videos and posts, but from within, breathing, movement, attention to your body, creativity, mindfulness. Gradually, the brain recalibrates, and the habit of seeking quick pleasures weakens. And finally, the 10th is small steps. You don't need to destroy the habit all at once. One time window, one why. Pause 1 day without social media. Each small step strengthens inner discipline, develops awareness, and restores control over your life. Scrolling is not your weakness, it reflects your inner state and the trap of the outside world. But there is a choice. You can stop being its victim. You can fill your life with meaning, joy, and attention that belong to you. Try this today. Pick one practice, do it consciously, and feel the space opening inside. Because the most valuable thing we have is attention and time, and they must belong to us, not to the endless feed.